all you MP Warriors. I'm Rick. Mike Portnoy here. We're on the Shiprock Cruise.
I'm the MP in MP Warriors.
You're
the warrior in MP Warriors.
I'm the warrior. You're the MP. And we're the ones that love you to death.
Oh, thank you. Thank you and thank you.
It's been an incredible ride. All the years following you. You're on Shiprock right now. You're with the Metal Legions. You played your first set a couple nights ago. How did that feel?
I love playing with these guys. I mean, I'm a metalhead through and through. I was always a metalhead in a prog band. I'm also the biggest prog head you'll ever meet too. I'm just the biggest music fan you'll ever meet. Whether it be prog, classic rock, metal, I'm all in every genre. But I never had a real metal outlet. You know, Dream Theater got heavy, and most of that was my doing. And Avenged is a kind of heavy, and Adrenaline Mob is a kind of heavy. But my roots are with Sabbath, Maiden, Priest, you know, Motorhead, Metallica, Slayer, Anthrax, Pantera, Megadeth. You know, so you know, this is to me the ultimate metal outlet I could have, because not only are we, you know, paying tribute to all of our heroes, I'm also playing with all the guys that are in all those classic bands that I grew up listening to as well. They also happen to be my buddies. You know, even though I was in a prog band doing a different kind of music, these guys, the guys in Anthrax and Pantera and Megadeth, they were always my buddies. You know, if Dream Theater was playing a festival with these bands, I was always hanging out with these guys. So, you know, we kind of all grown up in our careers together, even though I was in a different genre.
Right.
So it's a blast. And then to be here on the boat is great. We did the full Van Halen 1 album for our first set the other night, which was...
and brought Wolfgang into the set.
Wolfie played bass on a few songs, and yeah, so cool.
How is the feel of, obviously you were playing the whole set,
Charlie ended up not being able to come.
Yeah,
so
he got stuck in Chicago.
It was the first time in Metal Allegiance or Metal Masters history that there was only one drummer. I mean, I feel really bad that Charlie wasn't here, because he's always been a part of this. But on the other hand, I got to play all the cool songs. You know, when we originally divvied up the set list, he's like, "Oh, I want to do that. I want to do that." Charlie's doing it. It's like, so now at least I got to play it all.
So when you guys played in Anaheim and you kicked it all off before NAMM, how did you guys decide who was going to play what?
That's the biggest. I don't want to say struggle, because it's fun. You know, writing the set list is fun in this band. But that's always the biggest hurdle, because you know you have 5, 10, 15 guys depending on the show, and everybody wants to do certain songs, and you got to figure out who's going to play what. The Anaheim show a couple weeks ago, we actually had 3 drummers. It was myself, Charlie, and John Tempesta. You know, writing the set list is a process. You know, we were just upstairs half hour ago, still debating on tonight's set list. How it comes about, I don't know. It's just a lot of give and take, and everybody's got their favorites, and everybody has the things they want to do and don't want to do. You just kind of have to battle it out. And Mark Mengi, who's the guy that actually put the whole thing together, you know, you kind of, at the end of the day, you default to him. If there's a struggle or a battle or a disagreement, we let him make the call. But or you break Charlie Benante's kneecaps so he can't come. No. I mean, no. He's sick and he missed his flight. That's what really happened. But it's funny, because I did do the whole show the other night, and I'm doing the whole show tonight, and everybody's been coming up to me like, "Oh my God, how'd you do that?" And it's like, I appreciate the compliment, thank you very much, but
it's what you do.
It's what I do. Every show I've ever played in my career, I'm the only drummer playing the whole set. I guess people are spoiled because they'll see Scott Ian coming on and going off, and they'll see, you know, Frankie Bello coming on and going off.
And an expectation of seeing someone else that they can see.
But I'm used to being the only drummer for a whole set. You know, it's kind of, you know, what I do.
Yeah, exactly. Now, today's the last day of the cruise. A little gray out here for those that don't know. It's clearing up, but last set. First set was, we'll call it the mild Metal Allegiance. Tonight will be heavier. I mean, the idea was, because the first show we were playing outdoors in the daylight as the sun was setting. You don't want to play Slayer, you know, when the sun is setting in the background. If it's a blood red sky, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
So the idea was, okay, we'll do the Van Halen album. That's more of a party atmosphere, party thing. But then now that tonight we're in the theater, we're going to get a little darker, and we're doing some SOD. And once again, I love Charlie. I miss Charlie, but I get to play SOD. That to me tonight, that's like my Make-A-Wish Foundation moment, is that I'm getting to play SOD tunes.
Which is like when I was in the pit photographing in Anaheim, I could see you off stage a little bit like you were wanting to be in your.
Well, I did get to rehearse the SOD songs for the Anaheim show because Charlie just came in for the show, so I got to play it at soundcheck, and that was like my moment.
Right.
And I didn't think I would ever have it again, but now I get to do it on stage
tonight.
I mean, that first SOD album that was a huge album for me back in '84, '85, whenever it came out. That was one of my all-time favorite thrash albums.
Right. Now shift gears a little bit. Neil Morris Band. That's your next endeavor after this is done. I think the release comes out next week, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's the 10th, if memory serves me. What are we in store for?
Well, as everybody knows, it's the first time the Neil Morris Band, did an album as a band.
Right.
All the other 7, 8, 9, however many Neil Morris albums there were, it was always Neil's music and then me and Randy. And Randy and I would make an arrangement suggestion here and there, but for the most part we were there to serve Neil's music, and Randy and I would play bass and drums, and then Neil would play everything else. But Neil put together this great touring band for the Momentum album and tour, and we just felt like, what a great chemistry, what a great band this is. How great would it be to actually make a record as this band, And I guess the main key ingredients is really Eric Gillette on guitar and Bill Hubauer on keyboards and sax and violin and vocals, and Eric's also a singer as well. Those two really contributed monumental input into this. We already know they're great players because we've seen it on the previous tours, but they're really creative guys too. I mean, Bill Hubauer is a great asset in the writing department. Great ideas, great melodies. He's a multi-instrumentalist. And Eric is a guitar hero. I mean, he is a shredder, and he reminds me so much of John Petrucci. I mean, his style, he really, probably more than any guitar player I've played with, he reminds me the most of John.
But more of a humble, laid back.
Oh yeah. No, but yeah, Eric is just so gracious to be a part of this, and he's also a great multi-instrumentalist. Even though he's pretty much just playing guitar in the band, he's a great drummer. He can play keyboards. I think when you auditioned for Neil's touring band, he auditioned on every instrument, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
So it's an amazing band, and you're hearing a lot of different elements because of that. Obviously there's a lot of Neil, and Neil's the main singer, but Bill and Eric are singing an awful lot as well. I'm singing a little bit. And get the bonus disc, get the special edition with the bonus disc, because it's got a few other songs that we wrote. There's a song, Doomsday Destiny, I think it's called, which is a lot of Bill, and a cover of MacArthur Park, which Bill arranged. And to me, it's one of my favorite covers I've actually ever recorded. And Bill did an amazing arrangement of it. It's like a prog version of MacArthur Park. There's moments where it sounds like Kansas, moments where it sounds like ELP, moments where it sounds like Transatlantic or the Dregs. So the bonus disc is worth it just for that alone.
So there you have it. All the prog fans, all the MP fans, all the Neil Morris fans, I'm sure have already pre-ordered, and hopefully you got the bonus.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know I got the bonus disc.
And I think you really feel the whole band's input with those bonus tracks as well.
Right. So now, personally, what I wanted to know, when you do hit the road for Prague and you do a couple of shows, you're going to do a couple of shows, I don't know, 6 or so in the States, you're going to do another 6 or so overseas. Where's your favorite place to perform? I know Tilburg seems to have pulled your heartstrings with Transatlantic.
Well, it really depends on the genre. I mean, for Dream Theater, Italy was always the greatest, and Brazil, because they're just loud and passionate and they really get it. For Prague, maybe not so much. Like, I'll go to Italy with Transatlantic, and it's not quite the same vibe as it would be with Dream Theater. So for a band like Transatlantic or the Neil Morris Band, Holland really is they
passionate,
get it, really passionate, really they get it, and that's why so many of our DVDs have been filmed there. The venue, the 013 in Tilburg, is just a great quality venue for this type of music. So yeah, I mean, I love playing everywhere, honestly. And like I said, it's different for different bands. But for Prague and for the Neil Morris Band, I think we have a special place in our heart for Holland,
Right.
the Dutch audience.
So when you're recording, or you finish recording, you finish writing for the Winery Dogs, how's that feel of this one versus the debut?
Well, the Winery Dogs, we are only we're only in phase one. We reconvened last month and began writing the music, just the music, instrumentally. And we sketched out 15 or 16 songs, so we have over an album's worth of ideas already written. But now, you know, with the Winery Dogs, it's really a band that's about the vocals and the song. So, you know, really a lot of it's now going to fall into Richie's lap. So over the next couple months, he's going to write lyrics and melodies to the music that the three of us wrote together. Once he's got, you know, that end together, then we'll go into the next phase, which will be actually starting recording the album, which at this point we're pretty much penciling in for April or May.
Okay.
And we're going to also be doing some one-off shows then. We're playing the Monsters of Rock Cruise, we're doing the M3 Festival, the Rocklahoma Festival. So Winery Dog activity will kind of pick up around April and May. And then at that rate, I'm guessing the album would be out by late summer, early fall. And then that's when the touring cycle will officially begin.
When do you project the album to come out?
End of summer, early
End of
fall.
summer, okay.
Yeah.
So-
It'll all depend on how the writing and the recording, you know, goes along. But that's what we're kind of anticipating right now.
Now, there's a little bit of some hints or secrets you've been alluding to. Anything you want to share yet?
Well, there's another album I just finished the drums and the writing on, and it's my full-blown first full-on metal album. We wrote it in December and January, and I tracked my drums in January, and we're about to do the guitar and bass tracks next week. I can't really give much away yet, but for those of you on Twitter, I mean, most of you know, if you're a good detective, you've kind of put one and one together to see what at least the core is, and the three of us have, you know, wrote and recorded this album together, and then from there we'll continue to, the project and the band and the album will continue to evolve. So more information to come, but I will say, you know, if you've done your homework, you know who I'm working with.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing, amazing album. And, you know, it's pretty obvious that it's stemming from my Metal Allegiance experience. And it's all original music. And for me, I'm getting to do, you know, the full-blown double bass shredding drumming that, you know, I've only been able to hint at with Dream Theater or with Avenged or with Adrenaline Mob. So now it's
going to be
full-blown album. Yeah, and it's not, the whole album's not thrash. I mean, it's more like, this album is really kind of the history of metal. You know, there's moments that are early metal, like very Sabbath-esque. And then there's moments that are full-on mid-80s thrash, Exodus, Slayer, you know, early Metallica, Kill 'Em All Metallica. So there's a good chunk that's very, very much like that. And then there's moments that get more into 90s type of Alice in Chains sort of stuff. So it's a good, it's almost like a good history of metal sort of album. But I definitely have gotten my metal chops and, you know,
chomping at the bit, right?
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been really, really cool. I can't wait for people to hear this album.
Well, I'm out of questions. I got more, but I know you're pressed for time. I just want to say thanks for all the music. Thanks for spending the time with me and sharing it with the website.
My
so
pleasure.
Grateful.
Thanks for having the website. And thank you to the MP Warriors for just always being so supportive and always having my back.
And we always will.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Mike.
Cool.
All right.